Friends, how are you doing? I hope you're well. It is Sunday. It's almost Christmas. Okay, so this week in the market, it's gonna be a boring week, so we hope, in the market. But Jerome Powell will be, the Feds essentially will be releasing some consumer spending reports, and we're expecting that to be good. So it could be a little bit of a good week for the market if they're expecting the numbers to be good. So we could have a little bit of a run up here in the market this week, but we're not expecting a lot. It should just be kind of a boring week in the market. That's what we're expecting. So with that, I wanted quantum computing. Obviously, is like it's really getting thick here right now with investors, and everyone's talking about it. I get comments about this all the time, and this is something. Obviously, tech stocks, they go right into that. That's what they are. AI stocks. What do you want to say here? But you have three in particular here that are getting a lot of attention. So obviously, you got D-Wave, then you got RGTI, and then you have quantum computing itself. So obviously different price ranges, but you can see right here a spike in all these companies. And this is what's going on right now. There's a movement right now in the stock market for 100%. You either see it or you don't. So with Trump coming into office right now, there is this thing that's going on right now, where obviously there's certain guaranteed companies that are going to do well. And obviously the broader view of what we're saying right now with that is that oil stocks, bank stocks inside the United States are going to do very well. They're going to do well, but obviously AI will be pushing the market the next 4 to 10 years heavily. I mean, this is going to happen regardless. So with that, that's why people are paying so much attention. They're trying to get their mitts on any kind of little AI stock, something that's even shown the slightest hint of life and growth in the near future. But these three stocks right here are getting a whole lot of attention. Now, these three stocks, they've had up and down earnings, okay, but they are showing signs of they could really have some huge potential here in the next, we'll just put a broad number out there, 2 to 5 years, okay, if you're willing to invest your money and invest your time in these stocks, okay? Now, obviously, D-Wave being very, I would say affordable for most people. Then, second one here, RGTI, still under $10 for the moment, had some sell-off there. And then you got Quantum here. It was probably, I would say is probably the most popular right now. And I've talked about that one. I've told people like, hey, you probably should pay attention to what's going on over there. With these stocks right now, the consensus, the conversation where everyone will agree more than likely is that they're buys, they're holds. And people are buying up these stocks right now. They're buying up these companies. And I think a lot of what is going to push the stock price up for these three companies right there, at least, are going to be some FOMO. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally okay, because like I said, these companies, trying to not go into detail, because if I went into detail about every single one of these companies right now, and these are just a few, but these are the ones that are getting the major attention right now. They're getting deals. They're moving forward. They're doing great. They really are. They have huge potential here into 2025, and there's something that they are companies, are stocks that you should pay attention to, 100%. So if you have extra capital laying around, you're looking for a new play, you're looking for some new, some new excitement in your life here with investing, these are definitely some things you should look at, 100%. And two, when we talk about AI stocks, it's funny because there's a very broad map of AI stocks. You have your chip stocks, something like AMD, Nvidia. Then you have your tech stocks that are like software driven, and essentially we can obviously that goes into a more narrow kind of thought process, where quantum computing stocks / things like Palantir and Big Bear here can be thrown into a barrel together, but essentially they do different things, and the talk of AI and all that, and obviously I'm just a moron who invests in stocks, and so I can't go into the tech analysis of it, but this is essentially what I'm trying to break down here. So talking about Palantir and Big Bear here, these two are very similar when they talk about tech. That's why you're always seeing Big Bear somewhat kind of compared to the baby brother of Palantir. So if you're reading any articles about Big Bear here, AI, you will more than likely see the word Palantir come up. That they've talked, they're partnership, all that kind of stuff. Nothing crazy, but that is with Big Bear. That is the hope and the hype that something potentially could happen there with them. And those are two stocks, Palantir and Big Bear, that I am putting money into, that I have put money into, and that I'm doing very well on here going into 2025, and that I expect good things here in the coming year with those stocks. Absolutely, 100%. And then I look at this, and I look at SoundHound, and then I look at Rocket Lab. SoundHound has had such a run up here, and SoundHound is in the AI category, obviously, but SoundHound is communication, auto. Essentially, SoundHound, they're called SoundHound for a reason. And then, SoundHound has had such a run up here, such a run up. And obviously, there's other companies that do things what SoundHound does, but SoundHound is getting the most heat here as of lately, and the most, some pretty nice deals here. And then that's one reason you're seeing such the big push up with SoundHound here. And where is SoundHound going to land? Is SoundHound going to keep growing here, or is it going to fall back down to, some more, I think, respectable levels of probably where it's going to land here is probably around, $12 to $14. I would be willing to say here, but could be totally wrong about that. In the market, no one really knows what this market's going to do. That you have 50% going, it's going to keep running. Like Tom Lee, who says we're going to have a bang in 2025. Even the Feds are saying that. And then you have other people going, no, we're going to have a huge correction, the likes of which we've never seen before here, and it's going to be devastating. And that's the realistic situation, is what's going to happen here. Okay. Well, main thing we have to do is invest in good companies to, just make sure we're part of something that's moving forward here. And then you have something like Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab essentially, you can dare say it's tech. It obviously has forms of tech, but obviously it is what it sounds like. Rocket Lab. I mean, the rocket company. So, and it's getting a lot of attention right now, and it captured a huge contract here. I mean, I don't want to go into it, but you can obviously look into it. But, that's why that stock is just like blowing up, essentially. Really what I'm trying to say is here, going into 2025, there's a lot of different avenues that you could go into with tech. And so once you open the door of tech here when it comes to stocks, there's different forms of it. And I do think that you should probably kind of, split things up, be a part of different things, obviously. But obviously, not everyone has, $100 in capital to say, I'll put $100 here, I'll put $100 there, I'll put $100 here, I'll put $5 here, $5 there. I get that 100%. Some people do, and that's good. That's good for you. That's awesome. So really, friends, you know what I'm obsessed with. If you've heard me talk on here, stocks that I'm going after, that I'm pushing into. When we talk about these three first stocks that I talked about here, the quantum stocks here, and obviously I'm kind of just jumbling them together, but they're stocks that, yes, I do think you should pay close attention to. And going back to my main argument, how I started off the video here, is that I do think we're going into, we've already seen it, but I think it's going to get a lot thicker here, where the tech bubble of the stock market is going to keep pushing here. And, when Trump was first in office, when he first won back in 2016, we saw this with the EV market. EV market, Green Initiative, was really, really thick. I mean, it was just like everyone with $10 billion was starting an EV company. I mean, it was just like one after another. And people were like, this is the one. This is the one. And with that, a lot of those companies are not around anymore. But that was the craze and the hype of the market back then. Then you had Biden come in. Things changed a little bit more. Obviously EV stocks still highly, highly wanted, especially in the beginning. But Green Initiative stocks, the companies that were taking dirty oil, recycling it, making oil out of plants and animal, I don't know. Stuff like that. Just stuff that is essentially really expensive and is very hard to invest in, because essentially the companies never make a real profit, and it just bleeds investors. There, I said it. So with that, we're going into another phase in the market where I believe that it's going to be tech. Tech is going to control the next 5 to 10 years in this market, 100%. We're already seeing that happen. I mean, this year has been nothing but tech stocks taking the market and driving it, steering it whichever way it wants to go. Nvidia has led the market this year. Palantir, AMD, these other chip companies that actually make the chips. So we're probably going to see a lot more of that this year. It's just going to continue to ramp up what's already been going crazy here. So with that conversation, I do believe that make sure you're staying in the suit of tech stocks. If you're not investing in tech stocks, you're making a huge problem for yourself for this year coming and in the next 5 to 10 years here. Tech stocks ones that are already doing well are going to continue to do well, and ones that are starting to show signs of a bright future, some that I've showed here, they're going to continue to do well. So friends, with that, I wish all of you best of luck with wherever you're putting your money, what you're looking at here. These quantum computing stocks, I obviously we'll talk more about and break down, earnings, all that kind of stuff. But just to kind of get the feelers out there, because I get so many comments about so many stocks and what I do and what I try to do. Listen, I don't. Even in crypto, I don't take like 50 stocks and just start putting money into them. I take 10 to 15 stocks and I push, okay? And try to divide those up. And especially, it is 100%, and if anybody ever tells you something different about this, it is 100% a lie. It does matter who is in office, what stocks will do well, okay? It helps. Trump's coming in office. What do we know that Trump loves? He loves gas and he loves money. Banks, gas stocks, oil stocks, going to do very well. Tech stocks, regardless, it didn't matter who was going to be president, they were going to do well. A revolutionary moment of tech stocks taking over 100%. And the thing is, they're very much unlike the EV companies, where the EV companies were just sucking investors dry, not making money, not making quotas, just completely destroying everyone's portfolios. These tech stocks, even their bad earnings, are far better than what we've seen with a lot of these green initiative companies, which is crazy. I don't want to get in trouble here, but I think it's safe to say that the tech stocks are going to really do a lot better than what we've seen with the last few hype situations in the market here with EVs and green initiative companies. So these tech stocks, they're breaking all the rules. They're making all the money, and they're leading the way 100%. And if you've been following Tom Lee here, he is very, very bullish on 2025. Obviously, he says that, hey, anything can happen. There will be setback here and there, but more than likely, we're going to have a banging, rocking year. Now, is that going to happen? Do I believe that? I don't know. All I can do is just push into good companies. That's all we can do. It's not our job to worry about when the market's going to fall. It's going to fall. It's going to happen. And you can wait it out, whatever. Listen, I remember back in July, people were not buying in the stock market because they were scared that things were going to fall apart, that there was going to be a recession. You could still be saying that by 2025, July of 2025, and not buy in. It's going to be a huge, terrible decision for you. I promise you. I would much rather be in stuff now and go through a pullback in the market and build my way back up. I would far rather be in that situation. Okay? Friends, take care. I will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.